Gentlemen, we move on to our next panel session of the day, Industry 4.0 and Digitization, the Future of Food Safety. And before I call on the expert panel members, allow us a minute's time to quickly set the stage for the panelists to come. And while the stage has been set up, let me take the time and the liberty to introduce you very quickly to the topics and the points of discussion in this coming panel session. Industry 4.0 and Digitization, the Future of Food Safety. And our eminent panel members will be discussing on some key pointers like enhanced reliability and safety in plant with smart factories, connecting the people, systems, machines, and supply chains, collecting data patterns from production to help for better factory maintenance, enhanced food safety performance through digitization, and how modern technologies are keeping the costs low for better performance and better efficiency. Also, collaborating on technology to address the future of food safety and how technology is making food products safer and quality rich, smart manufacturing in the food industry present and the future, and global technology trends in plant automation. And now, ladies and gentlemen, without taking much time, let's introduce the honorable panel members to each and every one of you, and let's welcome them with a big round of applause. Joining us first on the panel, Mr. Tirumal Reddy, General Manager Operations from Arvind Dairy. A big round of applause to Mr. Tirumal Reddy from Arvind Dairy. Welcome to the panel, sir. Please have your seat. Joining next in the panel session, we have Ms. Neha M.K. Rambhiya, Deputy General Manager, Quality Assurance, Rebel Foods Private Limited. A big round of applause to Neha ji. Neha, welcome to the panel. Please have your seat. Joining next in the panel, ladies and gentlemen, we have Mr. Arvind Kakru, Director of Sales from Rockwell Automation, India. Big round of applause to Arvind. Arvind, welcome to the panel. Please have your seat. Joining next in the panel, we have Mr. Mishra, Deputy General Manager, Corporate Quality Assurance, Foods Division, Patanjali Foods Limited. A big round of applause to Manas. Manas, welcome to the panel. Please have your seat. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to call the honorable moderator of the panel, Mr. ABIR MUKHERJEE, Chief Technology Officer, Alpha Milkfoods. A big round of applause to ABIR ji. ABIR ji, welcome to the panel. Please have your seat, sir. So a great panel of experts on Industry 4.0 and digitization, and it's going to be a fantastic session. So ABIR ji, all over to you. Looking forward to a great session.
Good evening, everybody. Myself, ABIR MUKHERJEE. As I was introduced, I'm working as a Chief Technical Officer with Alpha Milkfoods. Basically, I'm a dairy technologist. About 30 years, I'm in this industry. And today, what we are going to talk about is a smart manufacturing and the pros and the developments which have been taking place and what the industry intends to be. And with me, first I would like all our panel members to introduce themselves. So over to you, Mr. Manas. I'll start with you.
So good evening, everyone. This side Manas is here. So I'm working with the Patanjali Group as a Deputy General Manager. Exposures of 14 years with different food and dairy industries. So
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Arvind Kakru. I represent Rockwell Automation here today. I've been with Rockwell for about 5 years, but overall close to about 29 years of experience, predominantly in automation and digital and cybersecurity. So great to be part of this discussion today.
Hi, my name is Neha. I represent Rebel Foods, and I've been working in Rebel Foods since 12 years. Here in the industry, I have an experience of 14 years.
I'm TT Reddy, working as the General Manager Operations in Arvind Dairy. I will be dealing with the enhanced reliability on food safety in these smart factories. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Reddy. Basically, the topic of today's panel is Industry 4.0 and Digitalization, the future of food industry. food and the beverage industry has got a lot of changes, and now the transparency has been the basic factor for human health safety. The world is moving, predominantly after COVID, the world is moving mainly towards the safety and the human health and the transparency, which with any consumer can very well correlate. There are the technologies coming up, already there, coming up and to be developed. And various AI techniques are there, various tracking systems are there, various traceabilities are there, automations are there, and the machine learning, which are going to be the basics of all the advances. And today, India is coming at par with the world over. Technologies are there. Just to start with, I'll just take a minute from the panel that first we used to have a tracking of all the materials or the frozen materials just within the factory and at the place of use. But today, what is happening that you can track the conditions on sea itself. And even the international buyers from India, they're stressing on that. So that's just a blockchain, you can say that they are very well ensuring, and that's what our own companies are also ensuring. We have got people from food industry itself who are getting the material, and even they are taking the reports of the conditions they have come up. So that's the help with the technologies. That's a very small technology. We all use internet on our phones and all that. That's a small technology of that. So to begin the discussions, I will request Mr. Reddy to start the proceedings on enhanced reliability and safety in plant with smart factories. You want to have a presentation? Yeah, sure, you can have. I'll request the organizers to have a small. You can have various technologies are there, and that is regarding our artificial intelligence is there, your digital technologies are there, your human creativity and robotics is there. Robotics is coming up in India. So far as we have not much used that in food, but all over the world, today what the general perception is, that India mein labor sasti hai. But to have an edge, constant in person, anybody cannot work. There's a fluctuation in the human efforts. So what happens when that ebb has come up? In that case, robotics is definitely an answer. Similarly, I have Mr. Arvind with me who will brief much more on the latest advances on the automation. And over to you, Mr. Reddy.
Good afternoon, dear friends. Just you can see why the concept of smart factories came. In the olden days, we used to prepare our food. We used to produce our food and used to consume. But in the growing world, the food industry is manufacturing and started supplying the food or ready-to-eat food. So, to ensure and to assure the quality, the system started to make the factories smart, to control the process parameters and to assure the quality. Yes. You can see, starting from the procurement of the raw material. So we have to control the procurement of the raw material, during the material reaches to your factory with all the set parameters. So that is controlled through GPS system, temperature control system, tracking system, etc. Then once the material comes to your factory, so you will be handling with automatic goods vehicles. Automatic goods vehicles will help you to control and to monitor the material which you are receiving is reached in perfect way. Since the product, wherever it is produced in the natural phenomena, definitely it comes in very good condition. But when we process or manufacture and further value addition is made, there we will be adding some microbiological, chemical or physical elements into it. So the controlling is required to control the material coming to your factory. Then it comes to the next system. I have shown the generalized picture here. If it comes to the food industry, so you will be controlling the material with the robots, particularly in the packing. There are so many packing systems are available with the use of the robots. To avoid the manual errors and any danger from the manual errors to the food. Then I have shown the sensors. Sensors will be monitoring all the processing parameters during the operations. When you come to the processing control, integration with the Ethernet, we will be controlling our systems with the Ethernet system. Then comes the motion control systems. Then inventory management also to be controlled in the proper way to manage the food safety. There also you need the smart systems. Then again, once the finished goods are ready, so we have to deliver them to the end customers. There also you need to assure the quality. It comes the delivery management. You procured the product and you processed it, or you controlled all the parameters, and finally you prepared the material, but if your delivery is not good, then that will become again a problem of food safety. Next. So you can see here, next. The controlling systems, just I have shown here, how the AR and VR systems are controlled in the processing industry. In modern technology, we are using the AR as well as the VR technology to control, to monitor our processing systems. Next. Quality assurance. Quality assurance, just I explained you, the assurance of the quality is very essential instead of quality control. If you assure the quality during the initial stages, you need not to go for the quality control. and you need not be wasting any product, and you will be assuring the safest product to your end customer. Just I have shown here collection of raw material. There you need the systems, reception of the raw material, transportation, cleaning in place. You procure the material and you process the material, and you are manufacturing the products in safe conditions. But if the equipment is not properly cleaned, if it is not controlled, this is not in the controlled conditions, the detergents are not controlled properly, or the parameters, temperature parameters or cleaning parameters are not controlled properly, the next batch of your product may be spoiled. So here you need the smart systems. So there it comes the smart factory concept. Manufacturing, storage, dispatch, just I did. Next. You can see Ethernet, Internet things of the sensors. Sensors are very, very essential tools in the processing industry, which monitor, which control, and which help you in your proper operations. Next. Just I have shown a picture here. This is a smart CIP cleaning in place system. If your industry is well equipped with the cleaning system, you will be managing all your parameters, where your hazards, particularly the chemical and microbiological hazards, which are really very dangerous to the public health, will be controlled. This is the most important system in the food industry, where it is lacking. So now it is growing the requirement of the systems like this. You may know that the food industry is going in very, very rapid phase. In US, it is growing at the rate of 10% per year, whereas in India, it is more than 15%. Now, the people and the living standards and living system and disposable money with the consumers and quality consciousness and the availability of the time for preparation of the food, all these things are encouraging the food industry to grow very fast. So it may double in 2030. Now wherever we are standing in the food industry, growth of the food industry, the census says that it may double, particularly in our India.
Sir, request you to just, please, Mr. Reddy. Sir, request you to just hurry up because we are getting time. Thank you.
Next. Next, please. Just here I have shown the processing system where these things are applied, which I have explained in detail. Okay, next. You can see the benefits of the smart factory, which I already explained. Next. Now it is the farm to fork. In depth I already dealt with. There is a time constraint. I have to limit my lecture. Next, digital technology and food safety will be dealing by my next speaker. Next, benefits of this smart factory. Definitely, the smart factory will be a beneficial for the food safety in future. Next. Next. These are very in-depth things. Effective small manufacturing. Then, next. There are few disadvantages also there, but we have to neglect them since we are having many advantages through the smart factory system. Next. I have shown the what is smart manufacturing and smart factories. Next. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot for hearing me. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Reddy. Sorry, we don't have that much time. So, thank you for the insights on the CIP systems and the monitoring and the sanitary works. The importance right from farm to fork. And to continue with our discussion, I would request Mr. Arvind to take up how our digitalization is connecting people. What are the smart manufacturing in the food industry present, and what is the future of it? And how the data is managing the whole efforts.
Yeah, sure, Mr. ABIR. So I think, for the context, CPG industry or food and beverage industry is basically a very complex industry. A lot is going on in terms of growth because we have the largest consumer population in the world, middle class that is growing fast. And there are complexities around food habits, and we heard previous speakers talk about in the previous sessions, the food choices are also getting very different. So if you really have to manage the complexity and add to that the profitability, which is not very high as compared to some other industries as well. So that means a lot of focus has to go on getting the data onto one place. You have to have interconnections between people, processes, products, technologies, and so on. So it's very important to have those all tied together so that you can go from one end, which is the sourcing side, to the consumer side, which is the marketing side of it, and actually have all of them connected so that decisions can be made real time. You can look at what has to happen from an efficiency point of view, productivity point of view, safety point of view to a very large extent, which includes cybersecurity as well, other than just the ingredients that go into that. So you start basically, and let's call it the connected plant, the connected dairy plant or whatever, connected food and beverage plant. What it means is basically, first of all, you have to have automation in place, which could be discrete manufacturing, or it could be process, which could be, again, automated, and you need to have all the data at either cell level or the factory level. Now, add the complexity of enterprise. Some of the companies may have multiple geographies, multiple locations, and you would really want to compare the performance of each of those plants and see how things are going. Are there any other processes or ingredients that have to be factored in, which have to get the whole process to a much better state and make it much more reliable and safe at the same point of time. So, that is enabled with help of cloud technologies. So that is one more level where you can take it to the enterprise level. So overall, the operations become much more interconnected, interwoven, so that you can go from production to manufacturing to the consumer side of it. Time permitting, I'll go deeper in the next question possibly. But these are the high level, I would say, things or technologies that have to be connected, and that should be the right thing to do as far as connectivity is concerned, and making the whole industry much more robust and resilient and cost competitive at the same point of time.
Mr. Arvind, I would like to just have an insight from your side, because you're from the automation side. Where does India stand with respect to the global scenario?
Sure. So I think, lot of Indian companies have adopted quite a lot. Of course, there's a big presence of global multinational companies who have big manufacturing footprint in India as well. And a lot of that has got transpired, and transitioned to many other companies in India. We see, as far as process automation, the large manufacturing plants are concerned, they're as great or as efficient or as world-class as any other manufacturing in the world. At the lower rung, I would say, on the machine automation side, the OEMs, who are providing equipment, manufacturing equipment to the end customers, they have also gone by leaps and bounds over the past few years. There's a small section which is on the lowest strata, mostly related to small and medium scale enterprises. That is where possibly we have to scale up a little bit, but I would say it's getting closer, the gap between what a world-class manufacturing country would look like and where India is going to be.
Thank you, Mr. Arvind. But one point that remains is cyber security. Are we working on that?
So that's a very valid question. I don't think people looked much more deeper into that a few years back. With advent of COVID, I think a lot of people started reflecting back on what was going on. And of course, there were a lot of incidents related to cybersecurity breaches, especially with the vaccine manufacturing companies, pharma companies during that time, and which was the most critical thing for us. But of course, we've been now seeing a lot of attacks on many industrial companies. On the consumer side, there's not much of a state behavior which exists in case of infra companies. But there are private actors who are looking for ransoms, etc. So it's very important to have that discussion and have those technologies and safeguards in place. I think a lot of companies are taking steps in that direction, and it's going very exponentially. That is what I can say. In the last 2 to 3 years, we are seeing like 5 times the demand as we would have seen pre-COVID.
Definitely. That was the answer. We are basically discussing that 5 times demand. That is a single word explains that how much conscious we have gone up on our quality and how much emphasis now is going on from the consumer point also. And to continue with our discussions that how the technology is helping, is trying us and benefiting us in reducing the cost and the food quality improvement, I would request Ma'am Neha to please continue on these points and throw your light on this matter.
Thank you. I agree. Cybersecurity is important. I use WhatsApp. We share a lot of photographs. We share a lot of data. It is important to have that privacy end to end. So cybersecurity, yes, it's important. So yeah, adding to the topic, my topic I would pick up is how modern technology keeping cost down and quality up, food quality up. So one very common thing since morning, I was in the last seat and I was listening. Everybody talking about one very common topic. Okay? Somebody spoke about Lakshmi ji. Someone said, okay, fruit is expensive and it's not cheap. It's not available, etc., etc. So no matter what we try to do, हम कितना भी अच्छा करने की कोशिश करें, we try to do more sustainable, global, how environmental and all the other facts. सच्चाई हमेशा ये रहेगी कि if it is not suiting the pockets, it's not going to last. अगर नहीं है pocket friendly और अगर आमदनी अठन्नी और खर्चा रुपया है, तो it will not keep moving forward. So I chose to pick up this topic volunteeringly. So margins in FMCG sector is usually always going to be a wafer thin. खाना बेचते हैं, so that's not going to be a bigger margin. Understanding हमें storage, हमें transportation, हमें logistics और वो सारी चीज़ों पे बहुत ये करना पड़ता है. So now, however, we've come up with few more sustainable ways to reduce cost and make processes more efficient. So the key words is we save cost by making our processes more efficient. It's actually a logical approach that has led to considerably growth in almost every other sector. Cost savings allow natural flow optimization. So now moving forward, so I represent Rebel Foods. We are basically a cloud kitchen where we have offline and online dark kitchens as well and customer front kitchens as well. For us, cost is very important. Five sure short methods that we at our organization, we currently follow using technology, which has actually helped us getting good, decent amounts in our pockets, savings in terms of that. I would actually like to take the liberty to explain the same in the forum. So the first is reducing human error through automated processes. So it's actually very important that in the restaurant business, time is money, okay? But speed isn't the only thing that matters. Accuracy is also important because mistakes can cost us time and money both. So it's very important that automated repetitive task helps increase speed while maintaining accuracy. One error-prone process in relaying customer orders. A wrong order served to a customer may disappoint the customer also and can also lead to the wastage of food. So by using technology, we at our organization, we've created our food application apps, QR codes, where it's convenient for customers to place orders. That reduces a lot of cost here on that front. And on the other front, for the wholesalers also, we can have an entire automated systems where POs can be generated. So wholesalers at food and beverage industries वो कर सकता है, जहाँ पे हमारे जितने भी billing system है, वो सब automated जाए. Technology can be used there. Second is reducing food waste through better menu engineering. So food waste is a restaurant's number one enemy in saving cost. हमारा food cost अगर high है, so no matter what we do, it is not going to give us a better result in the longer run. So now, having a lot of leftovers or non-performing dishes is terrible for environment and for bottom line. दोनों important है. Bottom line भी important है. During these challenges times, every penny counts. And wastage like these critical ones can actually hit one's profitability. To this, at Rebel Foods, we actually monitor and analyze customer wants and dislikes, which help us tweak our recipes. हम अपने recipes को time to time change करते हैं, understanding what our customers liking, what our customers dislike, how are they rating us. And in fact, we can actually include a lot more other things also. Like we can actually remove a product from our menu, जो वो चल नहीं रहा होगा, शायद उसकी rating खराब होगी. Or they can actually help us, change the component and lead to a overpriced ingredient. Maybe we can change that. Or in fact, it can actually change the price menu towards when it's coming to its end of its shelf life, ताकि वो फटाफट बिक जाए. We can probably give more discounts on that front. So using data-driven menu engineering with us, we can actually make smart decisions about price increase, agar karna hai, ingredient substitutions and promotions, discount, offers, buy one get one that we get on a Swiggy, Zomato's, we can try that off. With sales analyticals, you can see which dishes are performing well. This will guide us with our recipe development and inventory purchases. Both things, matlab bikega bhi waisa. And what you store in our inventory is also important. Third is reducing unnecessary spending by spotting loopholes and saving opportunities. It is very important कि हम अपने inventory management systems में potholes देखें, कहाँ पर हैं, and जो हम daily data अगर हम देखकर if we keep moving, while using this technology guys, हम अपने data को daily analyze कर सकते हैं, quarterly या monthly नहीं. तो आज जो गलती करेंगे हम आज ही आइडेंटिफाई करके रेक्टिफाई कर पाएंगे. Then we use our technology to monitor and validate our processes. And lastly, the most important is reducing inventory cost by improving procurement processes. So I guess these are 5 short that we currently do it, and it really helps a lot. I'd like to take the next Manas forward. Sir, please, for the next question.
Right. Thank you, ma'am. Basically, it's definitely important that unless and until you don't earn, nobody is going to serve from your pocket. Nice, and that's the balance. The QR codes are definitely important. Even in the organic sector, people are much more stressing on that they are marketing this digital QR codes.
It's
And
just
that-
outside also. Even the brochure of Cynics is
Yeah.
also done with QR code right now.
QR codes are very well, yeah, but the thing is that how much understanding the consumer has to scan it out. Anyway, the thing has come up, and that obviously we are following the West. They are leading ahead. Till the time we come up, we definitely be there. And I would request Mr. Manas to take about how the technology is helping the quality aspects, the food safety, because that's from where we started our discussion today. Over to you.
So thank you for this. Food safety, not food safety, the word safety is the smallest word we listen daily. The food safety, human safety, vehicle safety, everywhere. The safety is two smallest word. And the practices is the another small word we listen to use daily in our daily officials, personals, life, everywhere. We discussed about this costing part just few seconds back. We discussed about the technology. We let to know about the smart factories and this CIP process initiatives. What happened when it's a matter of digitalization? To digitalization doesn't come within a seconds. It takes efforts, it takes data, it takes some validation practices, it takes the implication of manpower strategies to go on that. What implication as industry experts, what implication of like representing organizations, basically the things which we are going in the markets like AI modules. AI, basically, if we go on elaboration process, AI is not on so much level in India, which is going on in Europe and other so much countries. So AI just identify the things, just implicate it, just replicate it and make the data validated part and make the things sustainable process. How it makes happen when we go for digitalization word. Digitalization doesn't happen with this AI only. Digitalization also needs that on-time data predictability. Digitalization had like cold chain process, digitalization for the temperature, pH, sensitivity, trainings modules. I think many more are people are from food industries are here. So there's a modules in the Europe which is called AFTS, automatic food training module systems. Okay, so it's a virtual modules which trains the peoples, which evaluate the peoples, which implement the peoples, assess the peoples, and that it dedicate to the right person to the right place. So such type modules are not currently is in India, but AI modules, TM modules, then we have the digital data feeding modules for the SAP, CRPs, and many more things are there in the markets which is going to help and reduce the food safety process. The food safety is not only the food safety, it's just a process from the ensure to assure. Means what we receive to up to what we deliver. Like whether it's like cloud kitchens, what is for the like peoples like us, we are for the B2C, for the dairy also, everywhere. So it starts from ensure to assure. That what we come is we ensure that the things we receive in the factories, we receive in the business, it should be ensured in the right practices. But what we deliver, we also give it a guarantee for the peoples, to the peoples that, okay, the things you get is the right things. Apart from that, all these segments, as a food industries, as a industry synchronizations, digitalization is also ramp up a process to make the things cloud worthy in terms of cost process. The cost we have discussed earlier, because the things not in pocket is not in the hand. So the same thing is that work on digitalization process, that we make to things streamlined, we make to things like get a universe way so that the things can be closer in terms of food safety aspect, and the food which is safe for human consumption can be reached back to the consumers. Because in daily life, like we use pharma products, medicine, we are too curious, too sensitive on the GMP practices in food, pharma industry basically. Pharma is something about like random medicines, random support system for the life. But food is a regular support system for the life. So that is why it's the more important, the more constant, the more segment, the more precise topics for the industry as on current date.
Thank you, Mr. Manas. Basically, the shift of is not only towards a technology revolution, but also towards the environmental and cultural one also. Because unless and until we understand what is happening and how we are going, we can just keep on copying anybody. There is an urgency in getting our products the best, the quality to the best and quality satisfaction of the consumers. Some things which Manas just was mentioning about the quality I would like to add that some things which were restricted to, for example, to the pharma industry, the air quality, which probably the dairy used to be so conscious about it. But now you can find factories in the dairy segment. We actually, most of us, quite a few of us among the panel, we belong to the dairy industry, so we know that very well. So there is a talk about the class of the air, means the quality of air that is coming into the contact with the food. Moreover, earlier used to be that there used to be logbooks that used to be maintained for your critical control points, etc. Now they are a SCADA-based system, which can take the results or give you the temperature indicators at half second. And if you are ensuring that, you're definitely providing the consumer the best. And as the madam was conscious about the cost aspects, if you can get a right feedback from the market, you can definitely synchronize. And that's what the role of AI and all the thing, if you can put it down, then you can have a smart system at a affordable cost. So with that discussion, I would rest the discussions. And 2 minutes are still there. If there are any questions, we would welcome from your side.
Thank you so much. And ladies and gentlemen, first of all, a big round of applause for this wonderful panel here, talking on Industry 4.0 and digitization, the future of food safety. My compliments to the entire panel and also ABIR for wonderfully moderating it. Now we do have time, so we can take quick questions from the audience. So I request the audience to kindly raise your hand one by one, and you will have the mic to you. Please introduce yourself, your organization, if you have a question, and to which specific panel member the question is addressed to. If it is a generic question, I think Arvind is the right person to decide which panel member can take the question. So we open the floor for the questions. Can we have questions from the audience? Please raise your hands. Any questions from the floor?
I think we have properly explained our points.
Yeah, absolutely, I believe so. So, thank you so much, honorable panel members, and thank you so much, Abhijit, for your wonderful contribution in the panel as a moderator. I would request all of you to kindly stay seated, and I would like to call on stage Mr. Hemant Giri, Business Development Manager, Food S&Q Industry from Biomeru, to kindly do the honors. Hemant, thank you so much, and welcome to the stage. We'll start with Mr. Tirumal Reddy from Arvind Dairy. Please come to the stage. Can we have the bouquet for Mr. Tirumal Reddy? A big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Tirumal Reddy, General Manager Operations from Arvind Dairy. Thank you so much, Mr. Reddy, for your wonderful contribution to the panel. Moving next, I would like to call our honorable panel moderator, Mr. ABIR MUKHERJEE, CTO from Alpha Milk. A big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for ABIR MUKHERJEE for wonderfully moderating the panel session. Thank you so much, ABIR. Moving next to Ms. Neha Rambhiya, Deputy General Manager, Quality Assurance from Rebel Foods Private Limited. A big round of applause for Neha for her wonderful contribution in the panel session. Moving next to Mr. Arvind Kakru, Director of Sales from Rockwell Automation India. A big round of applause to Mr. Arvind Kakru for his wonderful contribution in the panel session. And moving next to Mr. Mishra, Deputy General Manager, Corporate Quality Assurance, Food Division, Patanjali Foods Limited. A big round of applause for Mr. Manas Mishra from Patanjali Foods Limited. Thank you so much, Manas, for your wonderful contribution to the panel. Would request the honorable panel members to kindly come forward for a group photo. And Hemant, if you could also join them.